There's so many things you can pick at if you just want to sit and be a negative person. Enjoy the fact that we won a football game that we have not won in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Also, be really excited. And I'm gonna mention this every single game where we face adversity and come out ahead of it. We gave up 21 unanswered points in this game, got down in this game, and then came back and still won by 11 points.
45, 40, 35, 40, he's gonna go! It's time people feel us!
Big Red Junkies.
Day by day, he gets better and better! He gets better and better! Team is If we die, we die!
Man, woman, and child in that. Put him in the aisle.
Bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Welcome into another episode of the Big Red Junkies. I am BJ. This is Matt back from Florida, and this is Jed.
Oh, no jokes about being in prison this time?
No, there weren't.
No, there were jokes about you being Miss Matt, though.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I said you may miss Matt.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there were
here we
like three
go.
different comments about you. Oh, Miss, that's what you call him when he's gone now?
Miss Matt. Fuck you guys.
Well, you're not married. That's true.
Little Missy over here.
Guys, I don't know if you could tell based on how the entire Husker fan base seems to have reacted. But we actually won the football game yesterday.
Oh, we're number 4 on the year.
We're 4 and 1.
We're 4-1.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's why you watch sports.
Was fun for me.
Like, I know rule, and this pisses a lot of people off sometimes, or some people. I shouldn't say a lot, because most of the time when we talk about stuff like this is the vocal minority. Winning games is hard. Winning games in the Big Ten is hard.
Yes.
Let's enjoy
Every week.
it. Like,
Every week.
we don't win. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but unfortunately, over the last many, many moons, Nebraska doesn't win a whole lot of games each year.
No.
And
Wait. You're
when
telling
we
me
win,
we don't
I'm
beat
happy.
everybody by 60 anymore?
Yeah.
Does anybody beat everybody by 60
God.
anymore?
You know what's funny?
But every bad play is a referendum on the entire fucking season. It's like, okay. And everybody should be fired and everybody should be benched.
We won the fucking football game.
Yeah.
Here's all I'm going to say. I've thought a lot about this.
This is not all you're going to say, but
This is all I'm going to say about this situation.
Also,
I'm
I hope
going to
you-
leave it alone.
I hope you didn't hurt yourself with all that thinking.
I had some very visceral reactions to some of the things I was seeing out online. First of all, stop following the clickbait negative Nancy local media guys that like to tweet out every snarky comment they can about Nebraska throughout the games. Just stop following them. They're guys that a lot of people respect because they wind up on the radio throughout the week and they do all these different things. Those guys are doing nothing but trying to sell their newspaper or sell their clicks or sell their podcast they're working on. It's no different than what we try and do. We're just not dickheads about it. Stop following them. At least stop paying attention to what they're saying during the games, because they either A, don't know ball, which they do, they can talk about it, but B, they have no interest in Nebraska being good because it doesn't sell as well apparently for what they're trying to do. It is easy to sit and pick and complain about individual plays or individual people. It is hard to, as Jed said, as Matt Rule said, win football games in the Big Ten. There is no reason, unless the only football you ever watch is a Nebraska football game, there's no reason that you should think that we're going to perfectly execute every single play, every single time, every single day. It doesn't make sense. Anybody that watched any of the football that happened today, it's NFL Sunday. So all NFL games, all pros, everybody's making more money than anybody that's on our roster right now. You are going to see tons and tons of shitty blocks, shitty plays.
even by the best players in the league.
By the very best players in the league.
Yep.
Guys that blow coverages, guys that create pass interference penalties because they were out of position. These things happen because why? We're all humans. I realize we're in an AI world and everybody thinks every piece of everything has got to be perfectly tuned up. That's just not the way that works.
Well, and for instance, like Dylan Raiola completely missed what to us looks like from the stands and from the TV, an obvious middle linebacker sitting in the middle of the field, and he threw it right to him. I'm sorry, you're wearing the Patriots shirt right now. Did Tom Brady ever completely miss a linebacker that was standing right there and throw the ball right to him?
Probably more than 100 times.
I was gonna say at least a few times a year.
It happens with everybody. That doesn't mean he should be benched.
It happens nonstop.
Fuck.
It happens nonstop. There's also there's mistakes that happen all the time. Now, are there effort plays? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see plenty of times where a running back coming out of the backfield could have chipped a dude and it would have, given Dylan an extra second to maybe complete a pass instead of getting a sack? Absolutely. There are faults across the board, but everybody also thought because Dylan got sacked 5 times in this game that all of a sudden it was the same game and it was the same terrible offensive line play and tackle play that we saw the previous time we played 2 weeks ago against Michigan. Simply not the case.
No.
Go look at the numbers. Go actually rewatch the game and see the different stuff. Like there were 2 different sacks where we had guys that blatantly just didn't block a dude that was sitting right in front of them, but it was because of the scheme that the offensive line was running, which goes to play calling. Lindenmeyer had a guy that ran directly past him, literally right off of his right shoulder, didn't touch him, and got a breakaway sack on Raiola. It was all because the entire scheme was O-line shift left. Yeah. That was the whole play. The whole play. It wasn't Lindenmeyer missing a block. It was Lindenmeyer doing his job and that guy firing fast and Raiola not getting the ball out quick enough. That's what it was. That's not a blame on anybody. That's just the defense made a good call, made a good play.
That's what I was going to say. Sometimes it matches up perfectly where you make a perfect defensive play call.
You do.
It happens.
And it looks just like that when it does happen.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what team it is either.
And that doesn't instantly put an offensive coordinator on the hot seat. It doesn't instantly mean that a reserve quarterback should be coming in. It doesn't mean that Luke Lindenmeyer sucks at blocking because, oh, by the way, Luke Lindenmeyer blew up a dude in a hole for that last Emmett Johnson touchdown that made him look like, I don't know, the best blocker in the history of history. There's so many things you can pick at if you just want to sit and be a negative person. Enjoy the fact that we won a football game that we have not won in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Also, be really excited. And I'm gonna mention this every single game where we face adversity and come out ahead of it. We gave up 21 unanswered points in this game, got down in this game, and then came back and still won by 11 points. Or 10 points, whatever the fuck it was.
I heard a stat. I believe it was we ran 27 straight offensive plays and had like 19 total yards to show for it.
Yeah. And yet we still found a way to win the game. That is something that's completely different from the last decade.
Win a game going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the end, like the fourth quarter,
we took the whole game back over.
The Michigan State head coach said in his press conference, he said, and then they just then the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
And it was done.
Some of that. And I kind of noticed this, and I was asking about the wind being a factor in there, which it was some.
Oh, God.
It was definitely a tale of 2 halves, but our 2 halves came at the beginning and the end of the game.
Yeah, the first quarter and the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we had the win.
Yeah.
Dylan, for some
look at their game, though, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
yeah.
For whatever reason, the win was that big of a factor.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just that the passing game was affected, because the punting game was affected. And for some reason... It's like the defensive coordinators knew they couldn't throw the ball as well, and they were all just keying on runs, and then we couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
It happened for both teams. We just happened to be the better team in the first and fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a tale of which direction you were going in this game.
But we didn't ever shut down or give up, and that's just that's so completely different than what we've been used to over the last decade. 65
total points scored in this game. Only 13 of them were scored by the team that was going into the wind.
There you go.
Yeah. That's a crazy stat to hear. So that really tells you that a lot of this had to do with that. You look at a lot of the fact that like some people were griping during those second and third quarters that, oh, Raiola's got guys open down the field. Why is he not throwing it? How many of those? The Aiden Childs had a dude that was wide open in the fourth quarter when they were trying to drive to get back into the game, that he threw the ball like it hit the ground 5 yards in front of the guy. And that was because of wind. It's not because all of a sudden he couldn't throw the ball anymore.
Yeah. Well, and hell, I would even say, because that was going into the wind for his throw, so it came up way short. And then even his 2 interceptions was going with the wind, and they both sailed on him.
That one that it literally looked like, I don't know who said it, but I heard him say it looked like he was playing keep away with his running back. Right over your hands, buddy. And hey, way to go, Singleton, being the guy that was aware and right there for both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think those were back-to-back series, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
That was fun. That was fun to watch.
He's having a bit of a year so far.
Yes, he is.
He's been fun to watch this year.
Does anyone have anything but positive things to say about the upgrade we saw from our front seven? Holy shit.
No kid. I mean, I told a couple people today, they hats to the football just in a general sense.
Oh yeah, they were flying everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody
was great.
Yes. It was phenomenal to see that coming off of the bye week. You know, we heard a lot from the off week on how physical the practices were.
Mm-hmm.
That intensity definitely showed itself specifically on defense. You know, you have 12 tackles for loss and 2 turnovers.
It kind of needed to with how shifty Aiden Childs was too.
Yeah.
Like he could move around.
Yes, he can.
And he was very aware in the pocket.
Yeah.
It burned us on a couple when we were flying so
but
fast. So they got all behind us and ran back around.
He's that
That's gonna
athletic,
happen.
though.
Yeah.
He's that athletic, though, and we had pressure coming in.
Athletes are going to make plays.
When
Yes.
a play goes 20 seconds and he's still in the backfield, something's going to break and you might give up the back end. Like it's just what it is.
And what do we end up with? 12 tackles for loss?
Yeah.
Something like what did that almost double our season?
It's the most we've had in 2 years when we had 13 against Northwestern 2 years ago.
Wow.
You mean more than last year with Tony White's amazing front seven? Oh my God. Are you serious?
Hey, last year's front seven was good.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say it's not. I'm trying to say that everything is not the sky's falling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There was a lot of positive things to take away from this game.
But these are Husker fans we're dealing with.
I know. I want to tip my hat to the defensive line. Again, tip my hat to everything on the defense just as a whole, because I thought they played really, really well in this game. There were some interesting penalties that, again, guys get out of position, things are going to happen. Sierra Wright does that little hip grab move a lot to redirect guys. Hey, go watch an NFL game.
Yeah.
That is like the move in the NFL. He happened to do it right in front of a ref on the goal line.
It's going to burn you every now and then.
That sort of thing is going to happen.
Yep.
Also, that was just a tough drive. When you give them like 15 opportunities within 10 yards, they're going to score.
Yeah. Yep. And that was on the heels of being on the field for a 17 play drive.
Oh shit.
So it is what it is. I thought,
and there's definitely room for improvement after this game.
How many times, and you saw it in the fans, Jed, you can probably speak to this more than us, but because you were at the game, I heard that as soon as that 21-point run came out by Michigan State, people started throwing in the towel. They were booing.
Yeah.
People were leaving. Apparently, like half the student section was gone by the end of the second quarter.
See, and I'd never really look at the student section anymore just because, well, and I was directly on the complete opposite side of the stadium.
I was going to say, are you able to see that far after that much Jaeger?
I'm just so focused on the field. I don't care who's in the stadium and who's not anymore. Whatever. And also, like, that was one of the talking points on some of the shows after the game where everybody talking about the booing, whether you should or shouldn't. I don't care.
I loved rules response.
You paid money. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. As long as you're not hurting somebody, I don't care what you're doing.
I loved rules response. It is what it is. The one other thing I saw was there was a news clip of Raiola coming off the field after that atrocious series where we lost like 40 yards or something like that,
and he kind of just tosses it.
He was just like he was waving. He's waving off the water guy, and he's whatever. I don't want to talk to anybody. Then he goes to Matt Rule in the background apparently and says, "All I see is red right now. I'm furious." And that was him saying, "It's time to fucking go. Like, it's okay for your quarterback to get fired up and angry and pissed. And it's okay to get pissed at dudes that aren't doing their job to tell them to fucking do their job."
Well, hell, you saw that on TV towards the end of the game for Michigan State when I think it was after the last play for Aiden Childs where Nick Marsh, their wide receiver, they got into it with each other. They were like face to face yelling at each other. And then the announcers were talking about it and saying, "Hey, those are just two guys that are trying to compete.
Those are competitors."
And then he was talking about, you guys can talk about it in the locker room. And then like 5 minutes later, they were actually showing them also still face to face. But you could read Aiden Childs like, I got you. I know.
Yeah.
They talked themselves out like they got on the same page right shortly after that. That happens
all the time.
If you're not getting fiery with your team in a game like that, you're not a competitor.
No.
You're not an elite level competitor. And I saw several people, we shouldn't see our $1 billion quarterback making or acting like this on the field. I don't want to see this. This isn't how a leader acts, blah, blah. This is exactly how a leader acts.
Absolutely.
A leader
wants to win the game.
Is not all clapping and high fives 100% of the time. When you're not doing your job, when you're fucking up shit, when you're miss-snapping things, when you're not making the correct blocks, when you're not catching a ball or running the right route, he should be getting on your ass. 100% he should have been pissed.
And you should be able to take it if you're getting the ass chewing.
Yeah, and if you can't, get the fuck out.
Yeah, bye.
You're not a competitor.
Yeah.
Quit being soft, people.
All right, we've shit on the fans a lot. I do want to say one thing.
We love you.
Yeah, like, subscribe, all that bullshit. I will say I've seen a few things from Michigan State fans. I follow like different pages, whatnot.
They're great, by the way. I love them.
Oh yeah, you had a great time.
Yeah.
But I saw one today. It was someone who brought their whole family, and they got on. It was a Reddit page actually that I saw it, and they were like, "Husker Nation, you guys have absolutely no business being that fucking nice. Like, we had a great time." They're like, "We will definitely be coming back for other games. This was a great experience." Like,
it was. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was weird because I've been to a handful of Michigan State games in Lincoln, and every single time I have such a great fun with all of the fans that show up. But the fact that there are people from the state of Michigan that are actually respectable people and not complete fucking douchebags is really weird.
That's not where I was going with that, but yeah, that's it.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Do you like chicken? Do you like the world's best chicken? I happen to love chicken, and I'm here to tell you, Trax Lounge in Omaha has the world's best chicken, and that's a scientific fact. Actually, ever since 1965, Trax has been proudly serving the world's best chicken right here in Omaha at their original location just north of Center on 1506 South 60th Street. But honestly, their chicken is so good, they've officially flown the coop and opened a second brand new location out in West Omaha on 18111 Hugh Street. If you like your taste buds, you want to treat them right, get over to Trax today and get some of the world's best chicken. And if you really like your taste buds, get the hot buffalo mixed with garlic parm.
Let's get into the questions on this game because I feel like there's some interesting stuff here.
Question number 1 was who will have more sacks? Michigan ended up with 5. Nebraska had 4. Nobody got that one right. Everybody took Nebraska. Passing yards by Dylan Raiola, 299.5. He had 194. Everybody took the overs. Nobody got points on that one. Running.
Thanks a lot, wind.
Yeah.
The wind was originally, like, when we did the show, the wind was projected it being a like 14 mile an hour standard with gusts up to 30. And then it was, the wind's going to be 30 miles an hour and gusts up to 50.
Yeah.
That's a game changer when it comes to the passing game. And the fact that he even got where he got, I'm fine with it.
Well, and Dylan was 1 of 5 for 45 yards of passes of 10 plus yards. So, wow. I mean, we didn't throw the ball downfield for a reason. Because even if you're with the wind, you might end up sailing it like Aiden Childs did. So,
well, that one that he made into the wind to Barney.
Yeah, that was the 45-yarder.
He threw a fucking dart, and you saw the ball slow down in air. Yeah. And Barney was like halfway, almost turned already, thinking the ball would have been there. Like, just body was naturally, with Dylan's whipping it. It was funny, and that's why Barney didn't break that off for a touchdown. Yeah, because he was halfway twisted up when he finally caught the ball.
Question number 3 was running back carries by guys not named Emmett. I had it at 7.5. There was only 4.
Surprising.
One guy had 1. The other guy had 3. So everybody took the over again for the 3rd question in a row. Nobody got that one right.
This is why people should not all take the same shit.
How did we score that one on the reverse touchdown? I'm kidding because it was Harburg to Emmett Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's running back.
That was a cool play, by the way.
So yeah,
I thought that was a cool play.
Passing yards by Michigan State, 105.5. This was looking good until the very last drive for them with the backup quarterback.
That backup quarterback, though,
I know.
He threw some dimes. Yeah. Holy shit! That one down the right side.
He had 3 consecutive passes towards the end of that of 15 yards or more. Yeah.
Yeah, we gave up our first not allowing 100, and then we also gave up our first 20, and we also gave up our first passing touchdown.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, that was game 5 of the season.
They had 156. Matt and the fans took the over. Who will have more receiving yards, Amari Kelly for Michigan State or Ja'Cory Barney? Kelly only had the 1 catch for 9 yards. Barney had 2 catches for 47 yards. I was the only one stupid enough to take Kelly.
Remember that?
You're over so far.
So when we talked about
you
that
guys
one,
got it.
No, I said you're over.
Oh, yeah, I am.
When we talked about that one during it, he's like, I'm taking this other one because I'm either going to get this one right or the other one
I
right.
end up getting both of them wrong.
Somehow, some way.
And yes, I might be over right now, but you're about done. So you might want to be careful.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good because I think I picked with you pretty much the whole way.
Sweet.
What will be more, average yards per punt by Michigan State or Nebraska's third down conversion percentage? This one was close. Michigan State was number one in the country. I think they actually still are at 53 yards per punt. They had 40.8. Nebraska's third down conversions was 38.4. So Michigan State got that one. Nobody got that one, right? Total yards by Emmett Johnson, 99.5. He had 120. Matt, you were the only one to take the under on that one, so you got that one wrong.
Okay.
Who will allow more pressures, according to Pro Football Focus? Nebraska allowed 4. Michigan State allowed 13. Myself and BJ both took Michigan State. So as far as the records, Matt, you went 3-7. I went 4-6. BJ went 5-5.
Oh,
the fans went 3-5.
Is it the first time I've won a week in like
it's been a while.
2 seasons? I got this chill coming up my spine on that one. That felt good.
As far as some of the people that put predictions out on the YouTube page, somebody GBR and then another Andre went 6-2. They had the best records. Everybody else basically either went 5-3, 4-4, and 3 or 3-5. Papa Shavers put in his predictions. He went 4-4, so you went 500. And then just call out a couple people. Julie said that she was going to nail it this week. She went 3-5.
Sorry, Julie.
So close, Julie.
Keep trying.
And then somebody named Peterbilt. He went 4-4, but he did also had a caveat saying that he calls that Isaiah Hunter is going to have a big game, and that was correct.
Well, you were right about that, buddy.
Yeah.
One big game and one less shoe.
One less shoe. Was it not impressive? Like, was he running with like toddler socks on? How the fuck did he maintain speed like that with one shoe missing on turf?
I don't know.
That was impressive as hell.
It probably felt good to be running though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You slip your shoe off like that.
yeah. No, that was good. That's all of them, right?
Yep.
That was
So really quick before you get too on your high horse about winning the week, you did lose in the PFF league.
Did I really?
Yeah,
what a bummer.
You and Jed both lost. It was a rough week for PFF grades.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't have anybody that broke 80. Highest.
But to give credit, 2 of the people that have been two of the big talking points on this show the last handful of weeks,
Petula and Pritchett. Yeah,
were the best offensive scorers.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, if you just watched it live and you were frustrated with the way the game was going for the majority of it, there were some glaring moments where those guys stood out. If you really watch it back, because I rewatched the game, they did a lot of really good stuff in this game, and they both, like, especially in the run game, our rush blocking was ferocious in this game. Ferocious.
And we're going to need them to show up again because as we get into the Maryland game, they got 2 guys on the edges that are pretty athletic.
The one thing that I still wished coming out after that game that I keep thinking to myself, both after Michigan and after Michigan State, schematically, why are we not doing more, bringing a tighter formation in and having more guys, especially tight ends, chip hunt stuff on their way out? That's one thing that I can't quite figure out schematically why we're not doing some of that stuff. Any thoughts?
I would just say it's part of the offense that he runs.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that he's not running his offense and he's still running the offense that we had here?
I don't know that. I know that they mentioned that but I think that they were more talking about how he didn't change his offense at the end of last year when he came in there. There's some there's some molding of their offenses though.
Some of it, but he's talked about how he looked at it as a fun challenge to come in and learn this offense and run this offense. Like he talked about it in preseason stuff.
But he's still not. It's not like he's not running some of his shit. I mean,
no, you're right. You're right.
So,
what did you guys think of his quote that he had about not being so heavily focused on the run game as we get into Big Ten play? He mentioned something about, I'm going to run the plays that I think are going to work.
Yeah.
So if the run game doesn't look like it's working well, you're not going to see as much of it.
You're going to take what the defense is giving you.
Yep.
And that's the way any good offensive coordinator should be running a game.
I agree.
And especially if you look across the league right now, there's a bit of a transformation happening in the Big Ten that is not even just due to the fact that we have guys from the West Coast in here now. Like 4 or 5 of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the country are in the Big Ten, and that's not normal for Big Ten traditionally.
Yep.
You're looking at elite receiver play and elite quarterback play in this league now, on top of the trenches.
Yeah.
That is,
and not to mention the Big Ten has some of the biggest bruisers as defensive lines out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's been such a run-heavy league.
Yeah. And so when you really break it down, like there's a lot of teams that are running more balanced to the passing side than they are rush, if they can. Anything else in this game other than a couple superlatives I want to hand out? Middle linebackers, the linebackers just in general. I thought Deshaun McCullough, even though his PFF grade didn't show out that way, that dude was wreaking havoc in the backfield the whole freaking game. They were running some interesting stuff. If you watched a couple different plays where Shavers had an opportunity to blow stuff up inside, it was either Shavers or like the first sack that, why am I brain farting? 0.
Oh, right. Javin Wright. The first sack
that he had, they were doing some stuff where it looked like the jack was going to go. It looked like McCullough was going to be the rusher on it. And he pulled up and basically flipped and took that middle spot so that the middle linebacker could shoot through. It was pretty cool designs what they were running on that. It happened twice where we got good pressure on the back because of that play. But the combo of those things, hey, hats off to Dawson Merritt for getting his first start on defense as a true freshman. Those 3 dudes, Dawson Merritt, Javin Wright, and Vincent Shavers, wreaking havoc back there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feel bad for
games.
Marquise Watson-Trent. I know he's a good player, but those guys have just shown out too much, and he's kind of fallen down the depth chart, I think.
Yeah.
He didn't hardly get in this game.
No.
He didn't have an actual grade on PFF.
Really?
I don't think he got in at all.
Oh, there's that. The one that I did point out last night that I thought was interesting, we didn't see any sort of a stat line. He was in the game, but Riley Van Poppel again coming up as basically just a space filler. Don't really know where the stats are coming from him.
There aren't any. So there isn't anything.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Elijah Judy played another great game, back to back. On the offensive side of the ball, did you guys have anybody that really stood out?
I thought Emmett Johnson ran really fucking hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's still scared of blocking at all.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating to watch.
Speaking of blocking, Heinrich Harburg had some incredible blocks in this game. He had a couple where I'm like, that's a fucking man right there.
He's been laying some wood the last couple of games.
He's doing a good job. And there was some discussion with the folks I was watching the game with about why he's not getting into the passing game more. And I think it's because they need him more as a blocker. I think between him and Lindenmeyer, he's the better blocker on the team. He looks really good when he's out there.
I agree.
And Lindenmeyer has them soft kitty hands that catch the ball.
Soft kitty hands.
Okay,
that's all I got for this.
Sweet bowling ball with soft kitty hands. He's got a hell of a nickname rolling here.
We're just gonna keep adding to it.
It's good. Now we do really appreciate you guys. It's tough sometimes when there's so much negativity that follows what is really a good game. We don't mean it when we say we hate the fans or that the fans are stupid, anything like that. We really appreciate you guys. We can't do this without you. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, follow, please. Find us out on Twitter. Find us out on wherever you listen to podcasts. If you guys are catching us on YouTube all the time, but you'd rather listen to us in the car, it's very easy to throw us on Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, any of that stuff. Let's roll into what we expect to see from our friends over on the East Coast.
The Turtles.
Maryland. This is an interesting one. I really wish that they had held on to their lead against Washington because I thought this would have been a little bit tighter of a matchup feel.
You know, I think anybody who has ever done any sort of sports betting ever should have been going so hard against Maryland in that game. You know why? In the 10 years that they've had under, I forget his name.
Loxley?
Under Loxley, they have never won a game after a bye week.
Never once?
0-10.
Okay. Well, you want your fun stat for Maryland. Holy shit.
I was checking that out before.
That's a really bad stat to have as a head
for
coach.
some reason, if you want a sure win, go play Maryland after their bye week.
Well, and another benefit for Nebraska, at least, they're really bad against teams that have a winning record. like under Loxley.
Woof.
They just don't. Like we talked about it.
Almost worse than Penn State.
Yeah.
What about teams with an Ofer record?
Yeah, no shit.
He got confused by where the 0 was, I think, in there.
Good God.
But we talked about it in the preseason previewing Maryland, where their November record is just absolutely atrocious under Loxley. Now, granted, some of that is because you're playing Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State.
Almost every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But still, they make bowl games, but they just, hell, you look at it this year. They got beat by Washington, who has a winning record. Nobody else so far that they've played has a winning record. Towson has a 3-3 record. That's the second best record that they played against. So they just don't play very well against. And granted, they did play well against Washington, just except for the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
So,
that was a wild one. When I saw the early score in that one, I'm like, oh damn, Maryland, this might be more of a game.
yeah. But it would have been nice for them if they would have been able to hold on, because they probably would have been ranked, and then maybe we could have beat a ranked team. But
That would have been cool.
it is what it is.
That would have been cool. I do real quick before we move on, just because it does play into exactly what you just said. I felt like in that fourth quarter, yes, the wind played a factor for us against Michigan State. I also felt like conditioning played a factor for us a little bit. We were getting a lot more push in that fourth quarter. There were some bigger holes opening up, especially in the run game. We were sealing the edge a little bit better from a defensive perspective. It felt like our conditioning kind of took over a little bit towards the end. That really gave us a little bit more there. Some of that might have also been an injury to Aiden Childs that they really didn't address. But I'm hoping that plays into this for Maryland.
Shout out Corey Campbell doing a good job.
Yes.
I think seeing an Aiden Childs before going to play Malik Washington is a big benefit for us.
That'll be a good thing.
I think us having seen those three quarterbacks that we've played that are able to scramble and make those plays with their feet, it's only helping us.
Yeah.
But we're almost through those after we play Malik Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump in on the defensive side of Maryland here.
All right. They did bring in two new coordinators, one of them on offense, obviously, and the other one, a new one on defense. And both those guys have been around forever. They've coached everywhere. I know I showed you the list of Pep Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense coordinator's got like the same length.
Jesus.
Just been around forever.
Yeah. They are allowing only 13 points per game, which obviously is really good. But again, they haven't played anybody.
The powerhouses of FAU, Northern Illinois,
Towson.
I don't even know what that is. In Wisconsin.
It's a school. It's a school that has a football team, apparently.
and then Washington, obviously.
Yeah. But they have two really big freshman defensive ends, Sidney Stewart and Zahir Mathis. Stewart is number 29. Mathis is number 9. They lead the team in sacks at 9. One of them has 4.5. The other one has 3.5 sacks. Stewart did get ejected in this Washington game for a targeting call, but it was in the first half, so he will be okay to play the entire game against Nebraska. And also those two guys, again, they're freshmen. They combined for 37 of the team's pressures so far.
Jesus.
Just the two guys.
That's pretty
So
good.
in other words, we're going to have another fun day with our tackles that we're going to be looking at.
4 of their top 10 tacklers are all freshmen.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Again, there's a lot of youth on that side of the
A
ball.
lot of youth on both sides of the ball,
Yes,
apparently.
there is. They are leading the Big Ten with 9 interceptions on the season, but that number is drastically skewed because they had 6 against Florida Atlantic by itself.
Holy cow.
So cool that they have
In a
9.
game that they won 39-7.
Yeah. Cool that they have 9 and they're leading the conference, but
They've only had 3
when
sets.
2/3 of them are
Right.
in one
Yeah.
game.
In
it's
4
kinda
games,
like,
they've had 3.
Yeah, they have 10 takeaways on the season, but again, 6 of them were in one game. So
Yeah.
That's incredible.
yeah.
Wow.
You have 6 takeaways and you only win by 30 points?
Yeah.
That's not great.
Nope. That's about it. I mean,
On the defensive side, yeah.
I mean, as far as other statistical categories, they're kind of middle of the road on all of them. It's
How's
a
their
lot like
back
Michigan
end-
State. I mean,
How's their back end matchup with our
they definitely have
receivers?
experience on the back end. Most of that youth is all on the front 7.
A lot of play in the back end?
Yeah.
Got it.
I can't do it.
Size-wise, do they match up with us all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Mathis, number 9, man, he is a long, long dude. Reminds me a little bit of the McCullough that we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Matt, what about the offense?
Well, talking about freshmen, their 4-star freshman quarterback, Malik Washington, he's exactly, as you guys have already alluded, he's having a really good freshman season. 60% completion, 9 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's well over 1,000 yards already. And he's only been sacked 2 times. So he's got pretty good pocket presence.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely the reason that their offense is doing as well as it is. Their 2 leading receivers, Octavian Smith and Jaleel Farouk, I think is how you pronounce that one. One's leading in yards and one's leading in catches, but neither of them have a touchdown yet. So
Interesting.
he's kind of finding his touchdowns where he can get them. Those 9 passing touchdowns, 2 have gone to their tight end transfer, Dorian Fleming from Georgia Tech. He's definitely their big utility player on the offense. They kind of move him around. He does a lot of stuff. He has 21 catches already on the year.
Wow.
So that's the good news about Maryland. The bad news about Maryland is that they fucking suck at running the football.
The bad news for Maryland.
For Maryland, yeah.
Just in general. I'm giving you the good and the bad, and this is also the ugly.
Yeah.
So they play into our strengths or weaknesses.
Yeah, they are averaging 93 yards per game rushing.
Okay.
They have one dude,
Which is last in the conference.
Yeah, it's last in the conference. They only have 11 runs on the season so far over 10 yards, and they have none over 20 yards.
Wow.
So it's another thing. Their running backs are young. They have 2 freshmen, 1 sophomore. They don't do a very good job of it.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So they do, like you said, they play to our strengths pretty well.
Do we know anything about their special teams? Are they special or are we?
They do have 3 blocked punts or 3 blocked kicks. I guess I don't know for sure if they're any of them are field goals or punts or whatever else. They have not returned anything for a touchdown. So nothing too dramatic in that aspect. But they do have 3 kicks.
You got beastly dudes that can fire off the ball and get in the backfield. You're going to have some kick stuff happen. That's one thing I guess we didn't mention in the Michigan recap either. Holy special teams. Like awesome. As long as that continues, fired up. I mean, they give old Eck a good happy birthday.
Yeah. So far, Barney has almost. I think he's 4 or 5 yards away, or I guess the team is like 4 or 5 yards away from getting the same number of punt return yards as we've had in the last 3 years combined.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I will officially, and I texted you guys this during the game. I'll shut the fuck up about it. Our special teams are vastly improved. Just
the one that said before the season started, I do not want to see Barney back there returning punts.
I still don't. I think other people could be doing it, but whatever. I'll take it.
He actually didn't have any turf monsters creep up and grab him this week either.
No.
He almost busted 2 to the house. One of them he did take, but there was a phantom block in the back.
No, he hit him in the back.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I mean, okay, let me say he did. He pushed him in the back. It wasn't like the most egregious thing in the world, but he did hit him. So.
That's fair. Fair is fair. Call the game.
Yep.
It was a great looking run regardless.
Yeah.
In a game like this, we shouldn't have to worry as much about the punting being as affected by the wind. It looks like it's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah.
But from a perspective of goods, bads, uglies for Nebraska going against their defense, do you see a place where we're going to shine?
I mean, based off of what we did against Michigan State, I think, kind of with what we got done talking about a little bit after the Michigan State stuff was seeing a guy like Aiden Childs and then coming into seeing a less experienced Aiden Childs basically with Malik Washington.
Yeah.
They're very similar quarterbacks. I think that is going to benefit us greatly. Michigan State's offensive line outside of their center wasn't very either they were banged up or they weren't very good or both. And it's not like Maryland's offensive line is anything to write home about in a general sense. So, I don't know that I'm going to predict 12 tackles for loss again, but I think that
depends on how much they try and run the ball, I guess.
I think those guys can eat a little bit.
To your point about them trying to run the ball, in the game against Washington, they pretty much completely abandoned the running game in the second half.
Did they really?
Yeah. So they very heavily rely on passing.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he threw it 49 times against Washington. Holy shitballs. Yeah, I think that plays right into our hands on the defensive side of the ball.
They threw it 49 times, and they were up 20-0.
Yeah.
Like
That tells you a lot.
In the game that they were up 20-0, he still ended
in a
up
game
throwing
where
the
you
ball.
needed to be able to rely on your running game.
Yes.
They threw the ball.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that this is a pretty good matchup for us.
Yes.
Let's jump into the questions.
All right. Because, everybody likes to talk about the offensive line and says the offensive line is still trash. Sacks allowed by Nebraska. Maryland is number 1 in the Big Ten with 19. They're number 4 in the country. Nebraska has allowed 15. So I'm going to put the number at 4.5.
Over, unfortunately. I think it's got to be over.
I mean, they're basically averaging roughly that for the season Maryland is. So
Raiola's been sacked 12 times in the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
There was an emphasis put on it in the bye week to make sure Dylan was getting the ball out faster. Some of that didn't happen this week. Some of it did. Definitely in the first quarter, you saw, especially the first couple drives, you saw him getting the ball out super quick. How much do you think that they're going to aggressively adjust the way that they're telling him to get rid of the ball after watching that affect the second game in a row?
I think some of that is going to be the case, but also, again, talking about less wind that we're going to be facing, he might not be too well, that's one of the things that he needs to stop doing anyway, as far as being scared to make certain throws.
Yeah.
Just in a general sense.
We need some of those coin flip balls out there a little more.
Throw it up.
Trust. We have good receivers.
Yes.
Trust them a little more.
Yeah.
And you know what? If that means that there's going to be more interceptions, that sucks. But you know what? I'd rather see our guys attempt to make plays than have a quarterback that is scared to throw certain balls. That's another one of the conversations as far as whether or not Dylan holds onto the ball too long. Some people could say, well, the wide receivers aren't open. And I like what Michael Severe said this morning on the Severe Reaction Show, where he asked Steve Sipple, he's like, what is open? What is deemed open in the Big Ten? And it's like, sometimes you just got to throw somebody open.
Yeah.
You can't just wait for somebody to be open. You have to throw them the ball and just see what happens.
Yeah.
If you were watching the Minnesota early game in London today, Jefferson straight mossed 2 dudes that he would be classified as completely covered and somehow made the play. Just have to trust your receiver and put the ball where he can go up and get it.
That's why you call them your playmakers.
Yeah. I don't like to see 2 attempts total to Dane Key in a game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see an improvement there. I'm with you on wanting to trust it. I do have to go over on the sack total just because that's one of those prove it things for me.
That's exactly where I'm at. Unfortunately, with the way that our offensive line has played to this point, even with the improvements, they still got him 5 times.
I'm going to actually take the under on this. I think that they might allow 4, but I'm going to jokingly say I'm taking the under because clearly they're going to play Latif and he'll never get sacked because he runs all of the time. Kidding.
If he goes out there for any reason outside of the fact that we're up by 40 or 50 points, I'm going to be really upset.
Question number 2, rushing yards by Maryland, 99.5. Can they get to 100? Maryland is last in the conference at 93 yards per game. Nebraska allows 155, which is 17th in the conference. So it's kind of...
it's weird to see you're 17th and it not be last.
I know.
That is weird. Used to that is weird.
It's kind of a number of not good versus not good.
Yeah.
Except that Nebraska was really good in the run defense against Michigan State. So I'll give them credit there.
That's why I'm going under.
Season-wise.
That's why I'm going under.
I'm going under as well, but for a slightly different reason. I think they're going to have to throw the ball to keep up in this game.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go under too because I think we'll get again. I don't know that we're going to get to 12 tackles for loss, but I think we're going to get some.
If we're all 3 going to go under, let's adjust the line. Let's do an in-game adjustment. Let's adjust the line. What do you think about dropping it to 79.5?
That's fine with me.
Because their number on the season's what, 91?
93.
93.
I did want to see what go game by game to see what they've been doing. Click on these game log.
And this is total rushing yards, which means all the negatives count too.
Yep.
Yeah,
so as far as 79, so they have a 112 yard game, 86, 152, 61, 55. Do you want to just put it at the 86? That'd be kind of in the middle of both of, all 5 of these games.
It's also what we gave up against Michigan State.
Yeah.
Oh, I would do that, and I will still take the under.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter for me. I'm going to take the under unless it gets really ridiculous down there.
So let's do 85.5.
Perfect.
That's 95. 85.5. In that case, I'll just be different and take the over.
I could easily see them breaking one or two and getting that over mark. But again, they're going to have to. I think this game's going to be pretty high scoring.
Yeah.
If the weather's not a factor, I think this game's going to go pretty well on the overside, and they're going to have to throw the ball around.
I don't like that I took the opposite of both of you two in the last two these first two questions, because either I'm fucked or I'm going to win.
Well, if you win, you win.
I know.
Believe me, I'm equally uncomfortable about this situation.
Question 3. Who will have more total yards, Malik Washington or Dylan Raiola? So this is rushing and passing. They are equal. Washington averages 255 per game. Raiola, 256.
Wow.
So you can't get much closer.
I'm going to let Matt take this one first.
I am taking Dylan Raiola because I think we're going to score more points.
I'm taking Raiola as well.
Well,
Be
shit.
different, motherfucker.
No, I'm not. I'm taking Dylan Raiola. I was going to take him, but I had picked the first two first. I'm taking Dylan Raiola because he was seeing red. He felt like I know he did not feel good coming out of that game about his own play. I don't think he liked where his completion percentage dropped to. I don't think he liked where his yardage was.
Which it's still over 70%.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if you ask him, he doubled his interceptions on the year, and that's going to piss him off too.
And that's going to piss him off too. But I do want to point out that he didn't match his touchdowns from last year, now through 5 games. I think Dylan Raiola is going to have himself a day. I could see 325, 350 up on the board pretty easy.
Wow.
It's going to be good.
I don't think he's going to get over 300, but I think he's going to have a good game. Question number 4. This is just a yes or no. Will there be a special teams touchdown by either team? And I said I'm just doing it with either team because they have not returned anything yet. But again, each team in this game has 3 blocked kicks on the season, so that's 6 total.
Wow.
You never know what a blocked kick turns into.
Turns into a tutty for us.
It did last week.
That could not have bounced more perfectly into his hands.
Yeah, no shit.
That was beautiful. Carter Nelson, you haven't caught a ball yet on the season for us in a game that mattered, but congratulations on your first touchdown, buddy.
So, yeah.
I'm going to let BJ go first this time.
Will there be a special teams touchdown in this game?
I'm just going to go math.
And again, this is
I'm going math and saying
either
no.
team.
I'm going math and saying no.
Okay.
Jed?
I know that Maryland could get one. I just don't think math-wise, like you just said, Nebraska. I can't count on Nebraska doing it twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to say no.
Damn.
But Nebraska's getting so close on the punt returns.
I wanted to take the math card.
Specifically
I really did.
on the punt returns, we are getting closer and closer and closer.
Fine. You
No.
I'm flipping. I'm taking a yes.
Oh, Matt was going to.
Barney's going to get
I
one.
was going to, but now I'm not because math.
You talked me into it, Jed. Barney's going to get one.
Okay.
I would love to see it if it was our team.
It's going to be
team.
Barney.
Are you gonna stick with
or
no,
it could
Matt?
be-
Obviously, I'm sticking with no.
It could be. Matt baited me into this. Is what he did. He was over there puffing up.
Oh, never.
No, it could be Barney. It could be Mosey on a kick return.
Okay. Who wins the turnover battle? Maryland, Nebraska, or push? Maryland has +7 on the season, number 1 in the conference. Nebraska is +6 on the season. Are we allowed to do that? Because we haven't done that in a long time.
We are allowed to do that in the same way that we're allowed to come back in games that we're down.
That's
we're allowed
true.
to do that.
Hey, yeah, no, fuck, yes.
Word. Did you just have a stroke?
I feel like I just like error.
Do you smell toast?
Something wasn't competing right, and I had all of a sudden this excitement boil up in me, and words didn't work.
I'm like JoJo, the idiot circus boy with a pretty new pet.
Oh, monkey. Yes, and I'm gonna go Nebraska on this one. I think that what you saw with the pressures that we were getting from the looks we were giving to Michigan State, we've already talked about. We've seen 3 of these dudes now that can move like him. That has only helped us practice for this shit. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, little Mr. Freshman, you saw what we already did to one true freshman this year. He's supposed to be better than you. We're going to be able to do the same type of shit to Malik Washington with a little bit more success that we found against Michigan State, I think. There's going to be some sacks in this game. There's going to be maybe a strip fumble. There's going to be maybe a pick or 2 or 3. Let's go.
Okay. By the way, Nebraska and Maryland are 1 and 2 in the conference.
Love it.
What do you got? I got Nebraska. I think Nebraska.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also have to take Nebraska. I'm just feeling too good. I was going to take a push, because I think we could easily get too excited and drop a ball somewhere. I think Dylan's going to have a pretty clean game. At least I hope. But I think I'm taking Nebraska as well.
I was excited by Singleton grabbing 2 picks because he is a dude that has gotten too excited when given the opportunity to pick a ball and drop them.
Yeah, that's true.
In the past.
Question 6. Who will have more tackles for loss? Again, this is as close as you can get as far as stats go. Nebraska has 36. Maryland has 35. Nebraska allows 25. Maryland allows 24.
Jesus.
So it's like they're basically the same team as far as when it comes to that. And we've had 12 last game. So
this is TFLs, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, you can have the push option on this one, obviously.
I wish I could just replay what I just said about what we learned about ourselves and the way we were able to do things with the different motions and things in the Michigan State game. Copy paste that answer into this one. It's going to be Nebraska.
Okay. I keep going back in my head around because we pulled out that crazy stat about how Maryland's never won a game after a bye week. I wonder how they do after that game, because it kind of feels like sometimes they fall apart after they start losing, and they just keep losing after that. And so as much as I'm not comfortable with taking Nebraska on all these things, I'm have to take Nebraska again. I think we're going to just have a better ball game than they do.
Clean it up. Get away from home. Get away from some of the negative booing that you heard this week that might have pissed you off or might have whatever. Take that anger and take it out on Maryland.
Well, in memory, now I can say what
it's going on the table, Matt. You're next.
No, fuck no.
At Maryland, you're not going to hear boo birds. You're going to hear crickets because that place is going to be empty. I'm going to.
Good thing Husker fans wear red so they won't feel like it's just a takeover.
I'm going to do
stadium small as it is.
I don't think Maryland's going to get more. I'm just going to do a push because I actually do kind of respect those 2 defensive ends for Maryland. Number 7, receiving yards allowed by Sierra Wright. 5.5 yards. He has been targeted.
That's such a strange stat.
It is. But he has been targeted 15 times. He's allowed 4 catches for 23 yards, which is 5.8 per catch allowed.
I dig it.
So if
Matt?
That's such a low number.
It is. It's the average of basically. But the thing is, most games he doesn't get any. He doesn't allow any. So
yeah,
he was targeted 3 times against Michigan State, 0 catches.
You gave me a question that I can finally not pick Nebraska's way on. I'm going to go over on this one because he might get targeted 1 time and let him catch the ball for 10 yards.
Well, their leading receiver averages 19 points per catch, and he hasn't gone under 16 in a game.
And you can assume that's where Sierra Wright will be.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the over.
Well, not necessarily, because, Nick Marsh is Michigan State's best receiver, and he had more than that. But again,
that's fair.
Sierra Wright didn't allow anything. So
they're going to move him around. I get that. I'm going to go.
Even Michigan State's other wide receiver, that Amari Kelly, got 1 catch for 9 yards. And again, that wasn't on Sierra Wright. So not necessarily in that aspect. But
I think the thing that we have proven more than probably literally anything else this season for any unit on our team is that the DBs are fucking real.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real elite unit. Sierra Wright is the leader of that unit and locked down. Revis Island style. I'm taking him to go put up a goose egg again for them.
I am taking the under because I met some family members of Sierra Wright yesterday at the game. I talked to them for a while. We exchanged numbers. We might be talking later on this week.
Awesome.
I'll tell you that story later. But great people. I told them how much we appreciate Sierra being here and how much we love watching him play and all that stuff.
He's been fantastic.
So I'm taking the under. For all the obvious reasons.
This is a fan pick for
Jim.
Jack.
Damn right it is.
I like his mom.
It wasn't his mom. They were cousins, but
I like his cousin.
Whoa.
Question number 8.
Not like that, Matt.
Yeah, no.
Don't be weird.
They might be listening.
Shout out to the Wright family.
Yes, absolutely. Question number 8. Who will have the most tackles between these 4 guys? And it's 4 of the 6 top tacklers for Nebraska. Vincent Shavers, Javin Wright, Deshaun Singleton, or Andrew Marshall.
Can I just say again how good Javin Wright and Vincent Shavers played? Holy crap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What were they, number 1 and number 3 for tackles this last game?
You talk about another one that his Pro Football Focus grade for that Michigan State game did not show
No.
how
Javin
well he
Wright
played.
or Shavers?
Yes.
Either one. Yeah.
But
That's
Javin Wright showed for him.
who are the other
Javin Wright
people
was
you
the
had on
best
there?
player
Yeah,
this week.
it was Shavers, the one that was like, how the hell did his grade
Yeah.
be that low?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Who are the 3 that you had on there?
Shavers, Javin Wright, Singleton, or Marshall.
Oh, Singleton. Just for most tackles?
Yeah.
Oof. Marshall had a rebound game in this game, too.
He was everywhere.
Well, he had the opportunity.
Holy shit.
He played 72 snaps.
Yeah.
he was out there every single play.
Yeah.
I'm going with Singleton on this one.
All right. I'm going to go with Shavers.
And I will take Andrew Marshall. I was waiting just to make sure I could take somebody different. I think all of those guys, these questions always go this way for me. All of these guys could easily have the big game.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know why? You know what? One play I'll bet really dinged Shavers was when he had to drop into coverage on that running back that he caught that ball deep.
He did allow 3 catches.
Yeah.
That his coverage probably dropped him, but
That one he was outgunned as far as speed goes, and he was doing everything he fucking could to keep up with the guy.
Yeah, he's more of a hitter. But
last question is who will have more all-purpose yards? Emmett Johnson or Ja'Cory Barney? All-purpose yards are receiving, rushing, and punt returns, or kick returns, kickoff returns.
This is a sexy question.
So Emmett averages 116.8, and Barney averages 109.4.
Oof.
well, pretty close together.
Yes.
I'm taking this one first because I'm going Emmett Johnson.
Okay.
Why?
Mostly because Emmett Johnson's, he had the most targets in this game.
He also did predict Barney was going to have a punt return for a touchdown, and he's still taking Emmett
interesting.
Johnson.
I'm still taking Emmett Johnson. Well, Barney's not due. Like it's a Dan Key game. It's Dan Key's time in the cycle of
That's
one
true.
of those 3 guys gets there.
It is.
It's the big game.
Rotation.
And Dan Key's been down for like 3 straight games because Barney had the last 2 prior to this past game. So it's a key day. I think Emmett Johnson, again, like I said, he was our leading targets getter out of Raiola's hand this last game. That's a very, very obvious safety valve for him.
He's been a pretty good check down spot.
And he's doing well with the ball in his hands, period.
Yeah.
He might not be able to fucking block like this helmet sitting here on not anyone's head could, but which infuriates me. But at the same time, I do think that he's got the most yards coming out. This could be a big, like 150, 175 type day for Mr. Emmett Johnson.
If he needs to learn how to block, he needs to go watch some Scatabo blocking.
Jeez.
He's so much fun to watch.
That dude is fun.
Not to go on a tangent, but when he's pancaking middle linebackers in the NFL,
Full size linebackers,
defensive ends. Yeah.
Whew.
I hear everything you're saying. I think you're wrong. I think Ja'Cory Barney's going to have a huge day.
Yeah, I'm going Barney as well. I think Emmett's going to have a really good day, but I think Barney's going to get something big.
I do think Emmett could rush for over 120 this week.
I think I agree with you,
Yeah.
but just when you're including the special teams, if he's going to stay back there, that's going to rack his yards up pretty considerably.
And this may be the most unbelievable night in Cornhusker football history.